JEPQ, an ETF designed to generate consistent monthly income by investing in Nasdaq 100 stocks and using option strategies to increase yields. Although the ETF is quite young, being launched in 2022, it has outperformed the S&P 500 since inception. That is, when accounting for dividend reinvestment. The first thing that makes JEPQ special is its impressively high dividend yield, which is well over 10% at the time of recording this video. JEPQ pays its dividends monthly, providing a constant flow of dividends for those who value consistency. Most stocks and ETFs pay their dividends quarterly. JEPQ also has a much higher dividend yield than average. SPYI, an S&P 500 index fund, yields less than 2%. SCHD, one of the most popular dividend ETFs, is currently yielding just under 4%. JEPI, which is JEPQ's little brother, yields just under 8% and focuses on the S&P 500 versus the Nasdaq 100. And finally, JEPQ comes in at over a 10% dividend yield. Another benefit of JEPQ is that it has great exposure to the technology sector. Many dividend investors lack exposure to technology, as tech companies tend to have low yields. Some of its top holdings are Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, and Google. With JEPQ's unique option strategy, it allows for a very high dividend yield alongside to exposure to technology. JEPQ offers a better tax structure than other high dividend ETFs, such as yield max ETFs. This is because yield max ETFs such as SPYI utilize ROC, or return of capital, for their distributions. ROC distributions lower your cost basis, and they cause SPYI's distributions to be taxed much less. However, if you decided to sell your SPYI shares later in the future, the lowered cost basis could cause investors to be hit with a sizable tax bill that they weren't expecting. JEPQ, on the other hand, is mostly taxed as ordinary income, which, although it isn't the most favorable, is far better than ETFs that utilize ROC, at least in my opinion. JEPQ offers a diversification of income sources, although it primarily relies on its option strategy to produce dividends for investors. This is due to the Nasdaq 100's high exposure to technology. As mentioned earlier, technology companies tend to have low dividend yields, and thus it must obtain income for investors from other sources. Do you own JEPQ, or are you thinking about adding it to your portfolio? Let me know down in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this one, and as always, see you next time.